In a small, abandoned monastery lost among the forests, there was a terrible legend. It was said that Sister Mary, a young and pious nun who vowed never to leave the holy place, once lived here. But one day something happened and the convent closed. All the nuns disappeared, but Maria remained, becoming a legend that frightens the locals. A young student named Anna decided to do research for her thesis on medieval monasteries. She came across a mention of this very monastery. Despite the warnings of the locals, she went there alone because for her it was more than just research. She thought she felt some unexplainable connection to the place. When Anna entered the monastery, she felt as if time had stopped. The rotten wooden pews, the collapsed ceiling, and the flickering light of the beams shining through the gloom created an oppressive atmosphere. She walked down the corridors, gazing into the ancient frescoes, until she heard a low whisper.
"Why are you here?"
The voice, quiet and shrill, seemed to come from the very walls. Anna looked around, but saw no one. She assumed it was the wind walking through the ancient ruins. Deeper into the monastery, Anna found a chapel. On the altar lay an old book covered in dust. When she opened it, the pages were blank, but one of them began to fill with black letters right before her eyes. "Go away. They will come for you." Footsteps were heard from behind her. Turning, Anna saw a woman in a nun's cassock. Her face was pale, her eyes huge, black, pupilless. The woman stared at her silently, holding a rosary with a dark cross in it.
"Sister Maria?"
Anna whispered. The nun did not answer, only took a step forward. Each movement was accompanied by a sound like the cracking of dry branches. Suddenly her lips parted and she spoke, but her voice sounded as if thousands were whispering at once.
"You have broken the vow of silence that was given to these walls. Now they will hear you."
Anna ran away. Her footsteps echoed through the corridors. She could feel the nun following her, but when she looked back, she saw no one. When she reached the exit, the massive doors slammed shut in front of her as if an invisible force was blocking the way. Terrified, she huddled in one of the cells. Her breathing was heavy, her heart pounding like crazy. Suddenly a figure began to emerge from a dark corner of the room. It was Maria. She held out her hand to Anna, and her lips whispered soundlessly. Anna felt a cold, dead touch her hand. Maria's voice rang in her head.
"You're one of us now."
A few days later, locals found Anna's diary on the doorstep of the convent. The last entries were frighteningly confusing. She won't let me leave. It's so cold in here, I can feel her looking at me. I'm not Anna anymore. I'm Maria. From then on, those who dared to approach the monastery began to notice a figure in a monk's cassock, the window. Sometimes whispers came from deep in the forest, like prayers that no one could make out. They say there are now two nuns guarding the monastery, and one of them was once an ordinary girl named Anna.